and I'm actually excited for this. And I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I have to read every night before I go to sleep. Like, I'm just really excited about books approaching 21 years of age, and it wouldn't have like tainted my views. Another book that I'm obviously, you know, very excited for. Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Chloe and I am a writer and musician here on YouTube. And you can probably tell from the thumbnail and the title, I don't know what this all fluttery thing is, I am doing another book related video. Yes, I'm going to be sharing with you the books that I would like to read in 2022, and I've kind of got it broken down into sections. So I've got books that I own, which is going to be the longest section, books that I don't own that I would like to read, and then at the end I'm going to have a section where I actually talk about like my realistic list and just kind of shorten it quite a lot and basically share the books that I think I will actually read in 2022. I don't know what it is, but talking about books is just something that makes me so happy. I feel so like in my element, and it just feels like going back to my roots, and I'm actually excited for this. And it's just sort of like this indescribable feeling, almost like, obviously I love reading. Yeah, I think we should just jump straight into the list, and yes, we're going to start off with the books I own section. Books that have just been on my shelf for like either a really long time or a fairly new. Books I own that I obviously want to read. Just bear in mind that I've got quite a lot of books on this list, and in this section that I definitely won't get a chance to read this year, but that's what the realistic list is for. We'll get to that in a minute. So the first book, fairly new. I actually bought this myself, and it is called Two Kinds of Us by Sarah Sutton. I'm going to be completely honest. If you saw my previous book video, I had read If the Broom Fits in 2021, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I'm hoping that I'll actually like this one. Bearing in mind it's a lot thicker, I feel like it's also something that I'll be able to get into quite easily because it's kind of music related, and that's why I've been wanting this book for so long and I now have it. And then the next book, I'm not going to blab on too much about everything. And then we've got a couple of Christmas books. We've got A Surprise Christmas Wedding by Philippa Ashley, A Winter's Dream by Sophie Clare. Both of these books I actually got from The Works as part of like the 3 for £5 deal, so I did have like a third Christmas book, but I've already read it. And then the other one is The Christmas Escape by Sarah Morgan. She's actually one of my favourite authors now, but yeah, I'm also very excited for this because it's Christmas. It's a Christmas book. It's by Sarah Morgan. If you didn't know, yeah, I read Sleepless in Manhattan in 2021 and bloody loved it. And I actually got this as like a Christmas present from my parents. And then I've got Love in Lockdown by Chloe James. I think it's actually a pseudonym or something. Yeah, Chloe James is a pseudonym. I'm not doing very well with this, am I? Chloe James is a pseudonym for Fiona Woodfield, who was the author of the Jane Austen dating agency. So I'm very excited to read this. I love the concept and the idea of it. I'm excited to read that. I've got Starcross Manor by Christy. But it's Christy. I thought it was Christine. So yeah, Starcross Manor by Christy Barlow. I've got Meet Me in London by Georgia Toffolo. The Great Escape by Jo Watson. If you've watched my 2020 video, you know that I've had this book for a while. Yeah, I've had this book for a really long time. And then I've got Am I Normal Yet by Holly Bourne. I actually got this like not Christmas 2021, but like Christmas 2020. Yeah, still haven't read it. I've then got Trying by Emily Phillips. This was also in my 2020, this was in like my 2021 TBR. And I've then got Coming Down, Carrie Elks, and this is like the first book in the Love in London series that she has done. I think I read her series, The Shakespeare Sisters, all in like, I want to say 2020, and I bloody loved them. and so I'm excited for this one. And then we've got a bit of a stack of Nora Roberts books. So you've got Partners, The McGregors, Daniel and Ian, and then we've got book 1 and 2 of the Guardians trilogy. So I've got Stars of Fortune and Bay of Sighs. I've then got Time Out by Emma Murray, Married at First Swipe by Claire Frost, Writers and Lovers by Lily King, We Just Clicked by Annabelle. I feel like we all know by this point that I bloody love Annabelle books. So, no surprise, I've got another one to read. And Now You're Back by Jill Mansell. I bloody love some of these covers, actually. They're so cute. You and Me on Vacation by, I think it's Emily Henry. Agatha Raisin and the Murderous Marriage by MC Beaton. A Year of Being Single by Fiona Collins. Lucy in the Sky by Paige Toon. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. A Diamond from Tiffany's and Other Stories by Melissa Hill. So I get the feeling that this is probably a load of short stories or something. The Lost Swimmer by Anne Turner. And Waiting for Callback by Perdita and Honor Cargill. And then one, who's a very dusty book, Grown Ups by Marion Keyes. I've heard lots of great things about this book, actually, so while I'm excited for this, I'm also dreading it because of how bloody long it is. And the last 2 books, we've got In the Time We Lost by Carrie Hope Fletcher and Love at First Light by Hannah Orenstein. And they are all of the bloody books that I own. Well, not all of them. They're just the ones I haven't read yet. And now I'm going to move on to books that I don't own, so I'm going to make sure to include their covers somewhere on the screen. And they are What Are Friends For by Sarah Sutton. Yes, I want to try and read all of her Love in Fenton County series. It's not really a series, they're all basically like standalone books, but they're in the same county. Out of My League by Sarah Sutton, as well as Can't Catch My Breath. And I'm hoping the Two Kinds of Us is going to be like a good read, because then I will definitely want to actually buy her other books, you know, and I'm going to read them out of order and it's fine. And then the next 2 books are Sarah Morgan books, and they are Sunset in Central Perk, which is the second book in like the Sleepless in Manhattan series. I think the actual series name is From Manhattan with Love, so that's the second book. And then the third book, Miracle on Fifth Avenue. I'm just so excited for them. I think they're the next 2 books that I actually want to buy for myself. And then naturally a couple of Annabelle books. So on here I've got Don't Tell the Groom and The Man I Didn't Marry. Both I hope will be like great books, because well, I like a lot of her other books as well, so why wouldn't I like them? And then the last one in this section is The Switch by Beth O'Leary, because I think I've heard like some good things about that book, so I wanna see what the hype is all about, you know? And now we're actually gonna move on to my realistic list, which is gonna kind of be in order, but kind of not. It'll have like all of the books that I will actually read in 2021, 2022 in like a more realistic and chronological order. So the first one is gonna be Two Kinds of Us. I'm actually gonna start reading this tonight. I have to read every night before I go to sleep because I can't go to sleep without reading. I will actually start reading this today as I'm filming this. I'm so excited for it. And then the next one will be Love in Lockdown by Chloe James. Like, I'm just really excited about books, obviously. Why else would I be making a video about it? And then the next book on my list is We Just Clicked by Annabelle. I'm just generally excited for all of these books, and to just read them, you know. And then the next two books, I've actually got like question marks next to them because it kind of just depends on if I buy them or, you know, when I buy them really. And obviously the Sarah Morgan books, the Sunset in Central Perk and Miracle on Fifth Avenue ones, because I don't think you understand how excited I am about them. And then the next book on my list is Am I Normal Yet by Holly Bourne. I've actually heard great things like about this, so I am excited for this. Like, I'm really excited because it's about anxiety as well, and obviously, well, I've struggled with anxiety. Like, I've had anxiety since I was like 13 years old, and now I'm like approaching 21. Like, I'm 20 approaching 21 years of age, so it's been almost a decade. It's kind of bad. I need to get a grip on my anxiety. And then the next book on my list to read, like in somewhat of a chronological order, is The Great Escape by Johansson, because I do really want to read this, and it's just kind of been on my bookshelf kind of glaring out at me, and I'm just like, why haven't I read this yet? Because when I read the blurb, I think I actually got this from the works like bloody ages ago, I liked it and I liked the sound of it, so I don't know why I haven't read it yet, to be fair. Next one is Coming Down by Carrie Elks. I feel like this is just kind of a given that this is actually on my TBR for this year, because obviously, you know, I love Carrie Elks' other books so much. Oh, and then the next two are Out of My League and Can't Catch My Breath by Sarah Sutton. I'm kind of excited about these ones. It kind of dependent on Two Kinds of Us though, and how I feel about that. I don't think If the Broom Fits was a good start, like a good one to start with. Probably not, because I feel like I just feel like maybe I could have started with a better book. Not better book, but a different book, and it wouldn't have like tainted my views on Sarah Sutton. But then, to be honest, I think her writing style is obviously, you know, it's young adult, and obviously I'm more like used to new adult, so yeah. But I did still enjoy like If the Broom Fits, because I don't want people to think that I didn't enjoy it. Okay, I did. I feel bad for saying that I didn't really enjoy it, but that's just my honest opinion, and I'm hoping that Two Kinds of Us will be better. The last two books are Love at First Light by Hannah Orenstein, and then the very last book on my like realistic list is Jill Mansell's And Now You're Back. Another book that I'm obviously, you know, very excited for. I'm honestly really excited about all of this. I'm excited to just be able to read more in this next year, hopefully, because on this realistic list, I think there's 12 books that I counted. 12, yeah, 12. So if I could read all 12 of those books this year, I would be very happy about that, because the past couple of years I think I've read a total of like 20 books. I want to read a bit faster and just a bit more, and I feel like 12 is a good sweet spot, because that's like one book a month. That is realistic for me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe down below and ding the bell to be notified for every single time I upload. All of my social media links will be down in the description for you to check out. I would say I'm going to leave links to all these books, but I think that's just a bit much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!